The New York Jets gashed the Jacksonville Jaguars to the tune of 273 total rushing yards in Week 16, the most by any team in a single game this season. Shockingly, the Jets' monster output on the ground came despite both of their starting offensive guards, Elijah Vera-Tucker and Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, missing the game with COVID-19. Backups Dan Feeney and Greg Van Roten deserve an abundance of credit for stepping in and keeping the offense not just afloat, but straight up deadly. To put it simply, the Jets' offensive line was flat out dominant against the Jaguars. Running backs Michael Carter and Tevin Coleman combined to rush for 175 yards at 5.8 yards per attempt, with 108 of those yards coming before any first contact by a Jaguars defender. Quarterback Zach Wilson was sacked only once, hit only once, and pressured a mere 5 times the entire day. The offense as a whole averaged 6.4 yards gained per play and only punted 1 time. Without Feeney and Van Roten's contributions, the Jets' offense wouldn't have played nearly as well as they did. Zach Wilson and Michael Carter have been hogging the spotlight, and deservedly so, but it's time for the unsung heroes of the day to get the credit they definitely deserve, and to do that, we go to the film. First play of the review, and this is actually the Jets' opening offensive snap of the game. This is going to be an 8-yard run from Michael Carter on first down to set up 2nd and 2. Good job on first down to get ahead of the chains, get into a good position, especially when you're backed up on your own 9-yard line like the Jets were in this situation. It's going to be a little split zone call. Split zone meaning you're going to have these 2 tight ends here. Inside tight end being Trevon Wesco. He is going to come across the backside of the play and pick up this defensive end. The rest of the line is going to be zone blocking to the right. Michael Carter is going to have the handoff here. Braxton Berrios is going to come across on a jet motion. The Jets have do this a lot in this game. They want to distract these linebackers, give them a lot of eye candy. They've done it all season, especially in this game. Michael Floor had Braxton Berrios running motion a lot, and they would usually run a running play to the opposite direction, try and create some confusion among the defense. So we'll watch the play at full speed here first. Berrios comes across on motion. There's the cutback by Wesco. Carter gets upfield, and it's a good gain. We'll get to the end zone angle. Watch that at full speed again. Carter follows his blocks. Good gain on first down, 8 yards, can't complain. Now, the star of this play, believe it or not, and for most of this review, quite honestly, is going to be Greg Van Roten at right guard. Greg Van Roten is going to do an excellent job getting up on this defensive tackle, driving him out of his gap, and creating a lane for Michael Carter. The whole line does a good job in this game, but especially the interior guys. Van Roten and Feeney did an amazing job coming in as backups in this game. Both of them had awesome reps that we're going to get into. First and foremost, it starts with Van Roten on the first play of the day. So we'll move the play along here. Off the snap, Berrios comes across on motion, and the Jets in their zone scheme, especially when it's inside zone, they're going to get these double teams at the point of attack. This was the name of the game for the Jets running game for most of the day, was getting these double teams early in the zone running game, being able to pass them off eventually and get up to the linebackers, but first and foremost, getting a good push off the snap. And that's what you have going on here. So you have Feeney and Van Roten are combining with Fant and Mcgovern. You have Fant and Feeney here on the left, and you have Mcgovern and Van Roten here on the right, and they are both working on double teams. Croft is taking the defensive end, and you have Morgan Moses taking the other defensive tackle here in this 3-4 look from the Jaguars. And like I said, Wesco is coming across on the backside, sift it. So I'll move the play along even further. We'll see the push from the double teams. And there they start to break off from it, and Greg Van Roten is easily able to continue on after having the lineman passed off to him. Same goes up top here for Feeney and for George Fant. Mcgovern is able to get up to the linebacker, creates a good gap. Michael Carter can sift behind it, get upfield, follow the blocks, make a good play on first down. We'll go to the end zone angle. We can see even better. Van Roten does such a good job here. After this double team, get these 2 double teams going. Like I said, you got Fant and Feeney, and then you got Mcgovern and Van Roten. Get these 2 double teams going. Once it gets passed off, Van Roten's just going to continue to drive his guy back. Keep driving him. Doesn't let up. 5 yards down the field. Mcgovern on the linebacker downfield. Fant on the linebacker downfield. Feeney would like to see a little bit more of a push inside, but he does a good job holding his guy in place after the pass off. He doesn't give up any more ground. Michael Carter's got plenty of room to operate. We'll move in slow motion here. Carter comes across. He's reading the blocks, waits for the pass offs to happen, cuts behind Feeney, sees the gap starting to open behind Feeney and in between Van Roten. Van Roten, like I said, does a great job continuing to drive his guy back. Carter is able to reset, foot in the ground, cut behind it, get upfield for 6-7 yards before he's even touched, fall forward for another couple. Great run on first down. This is exactly what you want to see. Gets yourself ahead of the chains, sets the tone for the day right off the very first play. We're going to come downhill. We're going to double team your defensive tackles. We're going to push you out of the way, and we are going to be the tougher team on the ground. The Jets definitely set the tone from the very beginning in this game. All right, later in the game now, we have a 3rd and 1 from the Jets 37. This is going to be a 14-yard run from Michael Carter. It's actually going to come on a read option play. The Jets are going to be able to freeze this backside defensive end and leave him unblocked with a simple read option like the old RG3 style. But rather than keep it, Zach Wilson's going to hand it off to Michael Carter. Defensive end is going to stay backside. He's going to be there, not in case Wilson tries to scramble. He's not going to crash down. So it's going to be an easy handoff. But like before, this is an inside zone read. So it's going to look like inside zone for the offensive line. Michael Carter is going to run this like it would be an inside zone, just like the play before. And we'll see when we play at full speed first. It's going to be the same double teams at first. Off the ball, cut behind it. Carter's able to break a tackle like he usually does, get space upfield. But like I said before, it's these double teams, the point of attack. Now you have Feeney at left guard, Mcgovern at center. You have Van Roten at right guard, Moses at right tackle. They get up on their double teams. Great penetration off the snap. They are not letting the defensive line get in any further. Like I said, here's the defensive end. He is reading Zach Wilson. He is going to stay backside. He's not going to crash down. So Zach Wilson is not going to keep this ball. He's going to hand it off to Michael Carter. And the double teams are still going. Once they start to get passed off, we can see Feeney makes an excellent reach block at the top here. He's able to turn his man around. We can see his numbers completely. That's the exact leverage you want. He is completely leveraged between Michael Carter and the defender. Mcgovern, same thing. He's sealing his guy off here. Van Roten is able to pick up off the pass off from Morgan Moses down on the bottom. He's able to seal the defensive tackle in as well. Gets a good hold there. Unfortunately, Moses is the culprit here. The bad block is he is able to get off the double team and get up to the linebacker, but not quite soon enough to keep him out of the gap. Luckily for Morgan Moses, Michael Carter is a tackle breaking machine, is able to evade this tackle. Can't quite get him on cleanly. Like I said, it wasn't a total whiff from Moses, was still able to let Carter get through the hole enough to break the tackle. And then after that, Carter's able to accelerate more, create yards after contact like he always does. But it starts up front. You have two backup guards in this game, and the Jets did not flinch at all with their two backup guards. They came into this game plan and said, we have the advantage on the ground. We can be the tougher team, and we're going to prove it. And Van Roten and Feeney in particular, they definitely proved it in this game. As crazy as it is to say, especially for Van Roten with how he was playing earlier in the year when he was starting, this was an absolutely excellent game from him, Feeney as well. And it really started up front from the very beginning. These sorts of runs, this zone scheme, this is the bedbone of the Jets offense. This is everything revolves around this sort of running game. And we'll see more. They mix in some outside zone runs too. That was even great when we get there, but it all starts here. It all starts right here, right in the interior. Be the tougher team, be the team with more attitude, be able to get out in front, impose your will on the imposing defense. And that's exactly what this Jets offensive line did. This was awesome to see, especially considering the circumstances. All right, here we are in the red zone. It's going to be the first time we're going to see some action from Tevin Coleman. It is 2nd and 10 from the Jacksonville 16. This is going to be an 11-yard run. It's going to set the Jets up with 1st and goal. And like I was talking about in the first clip, we're going to have a motion from motion from Michael Carter, who's playing receiver. He is going to come down and run what's called an orbit motion. It's come behind Zach Wilson and Tevin Coleman, kind of orbit around, come out to the flat here with these two receivers out in front. This is a common call to potentially be a screen. The Jets have run plays like this all year. It's a way to set up potential screens front side. Like I said earlier, they might potentially run the ball the other way, which is what they're going to do here. It's just something that's in the Jets playbook that they like to run, creates misdirection. It's exactly what happens here. It doesn't quite fool the linebackers like it's supposed to, but we'll see that doesn't quite matter. Tevin Coleman is able to get to the outside, pick up a good gain, get 11 yards. And in particular, again, Feeney and Van Roten do an excellent job on this play. Being the two lead blockers that get out in front, sealing the final two blocks on the linebackers, creating that lane for Tevin Coleman. And we'll back it up and we'll watch in slow motion. Carter comes across on the orbit, and it's an outside zone run to Tevin Coleman instead. Like before, again, double teams at the point of attack. In this zone running scheme, that's what you're going to get first. You're going to get these two double teams. You're going to have them eventually passed off so guys can get up to the linebackers, but it all starts right here. Coleman is able to press outside. Double teams are able to be passed off. And at this point now, Feeney and Van Roten, the last two plays, had been the ones keeping the defensive tackles instead of leaking out to the linebackers. This time it's reversed. You have Feeney on the left and Van Roten on the right. They are the ones leading out to these linebackers, and they are both going to make great blocks. Feeney in particular up top here makes an excellent block, seals these linebackers, creates a huge lane for Tevin Coleman to run through. He's able to fall forward for another couple. Awesome play from Feeney and Van Roten here. The whole line does a good job. Again, the point of attack, you got the double teams. And there's the pass off between Feeney and Mcgovern. Nice clean pass off to Mcgovern. Same goes backside here for Van Roten and for Morgan Moses. Nice clean pass off for Morgan Moses. He picks up there. Now you have Van Roten and Feeney free. You have Fant taking care of the defensive end on the front side. Tevin Coleman's got plenty of room, and he's just going to follow right behind Dan Feeney through this gap here. Mcgovern does a good job reaching and sealing right there, gets a good seal. Mcgovern, again, had a great game. The whole line, quite honestly, had a great game. You don't rush for 273 yards in a game without every one of your offensive linemen doing their part, and they did here. But here's Feeney. He's going to come off this double team. He's going to acquire his target in the linebacker right there, and it's game over. Comes full head of steam, blows him back a good 5-6 yards. No shot he's getting anywhere close to Tevin Coleman. Coleman's got a great lane to run through. Same here. Van Roten is able to quickly come off this double team, get his head up, spot his target, get to him, lay a block, knock him back. Is it the cleanest block in the world? No. But you know what? This guy's not making the tackle now. He is not getting close to Tevin Coleman. He's not doing anything he can to slow him down. It takes the safety to come down and make a tackle. But the linebacker for Van Roten, he's not getting in on this play. Van Roten's able to keep it going, sets up first and goal. Great play by the Jets offensive line. Great play by Feeney and Van Roten in particular, showing not only can they be on the backside of the zone runs, but they can get out in front too, lead block, make plays on linebackers, be the athletic lineman in space that this system calls for. They both did an excellent job on this play, and for this entire game, this was just another example of it. The Jets offense did most of their damage on the ground, but the offensive line also did a great job of holding their own in pass protection. And this play in particular is a great example. This is going to be Zach Wilson's longest completion of the day. It's a 22-yard deep over route to Tyler Croft off a play action. It's going to be a play action sweep with Braxton Berrios coming across on a jet sweep. Michael Carter is going to fake like he is taking a running call this way, just like we've seen in a couple plays before, where we have the orbit, the jet motion going one way, and we have the running play going the other. But it's a play action. Wilson is going to keep the ball. The Jets are only going to have two guys out in the route. They're going to have Berrios out in the flat. It's going to be a check down. Carter is going to be another check down on the other side. Downfield, it's going to be Keelan Cole on this vertical, and you're going to have Tyler Croft running the deep over behind the linebackers. Now, this play in particular is not only is it a good play by the offensive line, it's a good scheme by Michael Flohr. It's a great read by Zach Wilson. Entire offense does a great job on this play. You have two tight ends to the right here, Croft on the outside, Wesco on the inside. We'll watch the play at full speed. Berrios comes across on the motion, and there's the play action. Offensive line holds up. Wilson's got a clean pocket, and he can deliver to Croft for a strike down the field. 22 yards, biggest completion of the day. No problem, easy money. Again, we'll see on the end zone angle. Clean pocket. Wilson's able to drift, wait for Croft to get open, deliver a good ball. No problems whatsoever. So we'll back it up and get a little more in depth here. Jaguars are in a pretty dang obvious cover 2 defense. We have 2 safeties here up top, and we have a cornerback down on the same side as these 2 tight ends. Most of the time, a defense is not going to leave a cornerback on a tight end unless they are playing zone coverage. If it was man, they would likely have a linebacker over here, and this corner would likely be shadowing over Berrios. But with the alignment of the defense, 2 deep safeties, corner on a tight end, this is pretty much a clear indication for cover 2, especially with how low these corners are sinking. So the Jets know that pre-snap. This play action is going to do an awesome job fooling all 3 of these linebackers. So we'll watch off the snap. There's the motion, play action. Wilson's got his back turned, and all 3 of these linebackers stay right here. They're just watching all of this action, trying to figure out where the ball is, not paying attention whatsoever to anything behind them. And once Wilson gets his head around and he starts looking downfield, you got Croft coming behind. All 3 of these linebackers not dropping into their zones, not doing anything to help. Got Keelan Cole running his vertical, corner starting to sink, safeties expanding outside towards him, and Croft is going to have nothing but green grass in the middle here. If the offensive line holds up, which they're going to, this is going to be a big play. So I'll back it up again. See, Jaguars are only rushing 4. And the Jets are going to have 6 in protection. So they do have a numbers advantage, which is good. They're going to get 2 double teams on this play. You're going to have Moses and Van Roten taking the 1-tech defensive tackle here. And then you are going to have Fant and Feeney take the weak side defensive end up top. Mcgovern is going to take the 3-tech by himself. And Wesco is going to take the strong side defensive end by himself. And they're going to go into their pass protection here. We get a good hold on the double team from Fant and from Feeney. Mcgovern has the 3-tech locked up. Double team down here from Moses and Van Roten is solid. We also have Wesco doing a solid job on the defensive end. Let the play continue. Zach Wilson gets his head around, gets to the top of his drop. No one near him. Absolutely no one near him. 4 rushers completely accounted for. Play is starting to develop. Zach Wilson is able to comfortably go through his reads. Doesn't have to be hurried. Doesn't have to be panicked. Foot hits top of his drop. No one near him. You cannot ask for a better pocket than this in the NFL. This is what Zach Wilson was used to at BYU. When he was playing against teams like Texas State, BYU's all-world offensive line was giving him clean pockets on every practically pass play. This is what he's used to. And when Zach Wilson gets in a pocket like this, he's going to be able to make some good things happen. So we'll see. Linebacker starts to recognize. He's starting to drop. This would have been a tight throwing lane if Wilson was trying to make this throw now. He's also smartly checking Keelan Cole up on the top on this vertical in case this corner stayed a little flat-footed or if this safety got his eyes on Croft too early. He's thinking there might be a window for a deep shot here, but he doesn't have a throw yet. It's going to be open, but it's not quite open right at that moment. Luckily, the offensive line holds up. Wilson can slightly drift to his left, let Croft get deeper in his route, find the throwing lane once he comes open, and it's wide open, and it's a great throw, great catch, great play overall by the offense. We'll watch on the end zone angle, see just how good the offensive line does here. Off the snap, like I said, we got Moses and Van Roten on the double team here. We got Mcgovern on the 3-tech by himself. We got the double team from Fant and Feeney on the defensive end on this side, and we got Wesco taking the defensive end on the other side. Everybody has their guys in protection, no problem. At this point, we start to see Moses come off this double team. He's going to try and go help Wesco, which is a smart idea because Wesco is a tight end blocking a defensive end. Most of the time, that doesn't go so well, and as good as a blocker as Wesco is, and he does a solid job on this rep, to be completely fair. Getting outside, Moses is going to go and give him some help. He's going to go look for work, help out his tight end and pass protection. Meanwhile, we have Mcgovern, who is taking on the 3-tech one-on-one. He does a good job of resetting after getting slightly beat, getting a good turn, getting around the arc, again, keeping his man free of Zach Wilson, giving Wilson plenty of space. No one near him. Not a problem whatsoever. We also have, on the other side, we have Fant disengaged from the double team, leave the defensive end to Feeney by himself. Linebacker is leaking out here in case he's going to try and blitz off the edge. Come late. Fant's getting out to protect that. That leaves Feeney by himself here on the defensive end. No problem. Dan Feeney's got it. No worry. There's magic in that mullet. He's going to pick up this defensive end, stonewall him, lock him in place again. Look at all of this space for Zach Wilson to throw. Look at all of this room. Look at how easily he can just read the defense, wait to find the throwing lane. Easy. You cannot ask for anything better than this for your number 2 overall pick at quarterback when he's got 2 backup guards in the game. I mean, this is excellent. This is outright excellent. The Jets offensive line deserves all the credit in the world for this performance, because if it's plays like this, you set Zach Wilson up like this, you're going to have a good day. You're going to have a really productive day on offense when you can get your quarterback in clean pockets off play action. You can give him open targets downfield. You can give him room to wait for guys to get open. Give Zach Wilson the time to be Zach Wilson, and good things are going to happen. Last play of the review, it is 2nd and 6 from the New York Jets 32, about start of the third quarter, and they are going to run an outside zone weak, which means they're going to run to the weak side of the formation from this 11 personnel set from under center. We got 5 offensive linemen here, tight end Tyler Croft to the right. That is now the strong side of the formation with the side of the tight end. The Jets are going to run outside zone. They're going to run to the weak side, so they're going to run to the left. This is going to be a textbook outside zone run execution from this offensive line. This is absolutely gorgeous. This might be my favorite play of the entire day from these guys, because it is just a beauty. The lane they are able to give Michael Carter to the edge. It is a shame that this run only went for 14 yards. Cornerback down here, Tyson Campbell, is going to make a great play and tackle Carter in space one-on-one. He probably saves a touchdown. Let's watch from the sideline angle here and see exactly how great of a block this was by the entire offensive line. Look at that lane. Look at all that space Carter has to run with. There is no one even remotely close of stopping Michael Carter from getting to this edge when he takes this handoff. Not even remotely close. You could drive a semi-truck through this hole here to the left. Offensive line absolutely crushes it on this play. We need to go frame by frame and break it down, because it really is this great. This is a work of art from this offensive line. First off, we're going to have George Fant, the play side offensive tackle. He is going to get up and get onto this linebacker. So he is going to let this defensive end come free. Dan Feeney now has to reach this defensive end. For what a reach block is, that's when you're trying to get out in front and turn. Like we saw earlier, we saw the back of Feeney's jersey. We could see his numbers and his nameplate. That's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a good angle on the defensive player, turn him and turn your body so that you are creating a wall between where the defender is and where the run is supposed to go. This is a very, very difficult block, especially for a guard coming this far outside against a defensive end. When the defensive end is going to have the tackle leaking up, kind of running interference for him, this is an incredibly, incredibly difficult block for Dan Feeney to make, and he makes it like it is nothing. We'll see at the snap. Feeney does a very, very smart thing, which is taking a bucket step backwards. He's gaining depth behind him. It gives him a better angle to get to the outside. If he was trying to come straight flat across, it would be hard for Feeney to get the outside angle on this defensive end. One of the old offensive line coaching principles is that you have to go backwards before you go forwards. And that's what he does here. He takes that step back, gets himself a better angle, makes contact with the defensive end a little further back into the backfield. Fant's now again starting to get up to the linebacker. And once he makes contact, he is able to get on his outside shoulder right there with that outside arm. Turn him, get those hips around, walled. Sealed off. Perfect reach block from Dan Feeney. You could not ask to draw up a reach block better than this. This is teaching tape for offensive linemen if they want to see how to reach block a defensive end as an offensive guard. This is excellent. This block right here to seal this defensive end, keep him away from Michael Carter. This is the play side end. This is the most important block of the whole play. Quite honestly, if this end is able to get into the backfield and gets in front of Feeney and Feeney doesn't seal it off, Michael Carter is going to get tackled for a loss. He's either going to have to cut back inside too early, hope to make a defender miss as soon as he gets the ball in the backfield. This is not an easy block. It's also the most crucial block of the play, and Dan Feeney does it about as perfectly as you could ask for. We'll continue on the rest of the line because it's good from the rest of them too. So we'll see off the snap. We have Connor Mcgovern here. He is going to get on the nose tackle from this over front from Jacksonville. Again, reach blocking him, gets good contact, getting to the outside, keeping good contact, not quite getting the angular turn you would like, but a solid block nonetheless, is able to continue driving his man, not getting towards Michael Carter, and that's the goal. Michael Carter is untouched. That is what you want to see. We also have Van Roten, again, an excellent block from Greg Van Roten. Not something you hear every day, but you're going to hear it a lot in this review, and it's definitely earned. Backside defensive tackle, gets in front of him again with a reach block, in a little bit better of a position, being already leveraged inside. That definitely does help him, but still makes contact, turns, and there's his numbers. You see those numbers flash? That's exactly what you want. You want to be turned and have your guy sealed to the opposite end. No issues whatsoever from Van Roten. This is an excellent block to run. Last but not least, George Fant gets up to the linebacker. Even Berrios gets in here on the slot corner and lays a good block on the slot corner. Hashtag extend Berrios. This is just a great run. This is a great run, a great blocked run. You can see here, Feeney walling his guy off, Mcgovern walling his guy off, Van Roten walling his guy off on the backside. Fant's taking this linebacker for a ride for Lord knows how many yards. You can see him just taking him wherever he wants to go. And Michael Carter is able to get to the edge, get about 7 yards, 8 yards, 9 yards before he even has to cut up field. And if Tyson Campbell doesn't do a great job of getting in front of this block and making this tackle on Michael Carter, if Tyson Campbell doesn't make this tackle on Michael Carter, this is a touchdown. This is an outright touchdown. This is a 68-yard touchdown run from Michael Carter if Tyson Campbell does not make this tackle. Here's George Fant still taking the linebacker for a ride. Here's Connor Mcgovern, defensive tackle, no problem. Here's Feeney, the defensive end is still where he was. For as hard of a block as that was for Dan Feeney, you can still see his numbers. There's the technique. There's the turn. No problem whatsoever. Same goes for Fant. This run should have been a touchdown. This should have been the longest touchdown run of Michael Carter's career so far. This should have been the dagger in the hearts of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This run right here, you want to see what it was like for the Jets offensive line? This is your screen grab. This is your screen grab. This is where it all happens. This frame right here. Everybody has a hat on the hat. The Jaguars defense has no chance, and you have the Jets' 2 backup guards executing textbook blocks, allowing a huge lane for Michael Carter to the edge. I could spend all day ranting about how great of a performance this was from the Jets' backup linemen, in particular, Greg Van Roten and Dan Feeney. Connor Mcgovern played for most of the game and had an excellent game in his own right. He did get injured at the end. Unfortunately, he is not going to be finishing this year with that injury. Quite honestly, I hope to see him back next year and continue some continuity with these guys, because if they can continue making blocks like this, if they can continue giving Michael Carter lanes like this, I want to see more. I want to see these guys together more. I want to see them getting more opportunities. It's really good to know that the Jets have guys on their roster, even as backups, that are capable of coming in when needed and playing like this. It's a shame that we didn't see this from Greg Van Roten earlier in the year or much of the year prior. But if this is what his role is going to be as a backup that can come in and play this well when needed, then I'm all for it. Hats off to the Jets offensive line. Hats off to Dan Feeney. Hats off to Greg Van Roten. Hats off to Michael Flohr. Hats off to Zach Wilson. Hats off to everybody on this Jets staff and everybody on this Jets team for fighting, never quitting from the very first snap, coming out and imposing their will on the Jaguars when all the chips were down, when everything was against them, when your head coach isn't even there to coach the game. They didn't quit. They didn't stop fighting. They did everything they could to put their team in a position to win, let their best players and Zach Wilson and Michael Carter have the space to operate and do what they do best, and they were able to pay off with the dividends. You cannot ask for anything better than this if you are a Jets fan right now. be very happy with this win. The Jets offensive linemen definitely gave us all a very, very happy holiday.